everyone, and welcome into this Friday's edition of Dammit. Not another podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm your host, DJ Scoot, and I am joined by
Perry.
Austin, a.k.a. DJ Wolf in the house.
And Silas.
All right.
Silas, we
Gang's all
still
here.
got to come up with a nickname for you, my
The
brother.
Yeah.
DJ name.
traditional Friday crew, as it appears to be.
Yep.
All right. To begin, I have my surprise topic.
Ooh.
And I actually found this in my email, and I was surprised by it. And are you ready for this headline? Dragon Man's skull may be a new species shaking up the human family tree. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know what that means.
I'm going in depth and describe the lore behind it, but that's kind of whack. You can pull it up. Here we go. Okay. So, hidden down a well for decades, the stunningly complete cranium is stirring debate among the increasing number of fossils that don't nearly fit in the classic human origin story. So basically, this skull was found hidden down a well since like the 1930s. And apparently the story is some construction workers in Japan were raising a bridge that I think collapsed in the water, and that looks like it, that top one.
Right here?
No.
Over
Yeah, that
here?
one.
This one?
I think so. But yeah, they raised this bridge, and one of the workers found the skull, and he didn't tell anyone. He decided to keep it for himself.
Oh, as you do.
Yeah, and then made it a family secret, and then he decided to hide it down a well.
A family secret?
Yeah.
Okay, can you imagine, seeing your grandparents and they're like, guys, check it out.
Grandpa
Bones."
Austin, tell me the time you buried a skull down a well.
Well, apparently, before he died, he told his grandkids where it was, so they went on
Oh,
an
dude, like a
adventure.
treasure hunt?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, jealous.
But apparently, 2 additional studies revealed that the stunningly preserved cranium likely came from a male that died at least 146,000 years ago. It's a mashup of both ancient and more modern anatomical features, and it hints at a unique placement at the human family tree.
Interesting.
And here's the picture.
I
if
just
you
can't
wanna-
believe the fact that he, held on to that.
It's the same one, yeah. Yeah,
Bones. Because, okay, maybe you find a bone in the woods and you're like, cool animal bone, but a skull is, very obviously human.
yeah, and why hide it in a well? I don't get
Yeah.
it. He's like, I'm gonna put this in here.
I feel like it's a display item.
I just love the name of the skull that they gave it. The dragon man skull.
Did you say 150 years? Like this this sketch is like eons ago.
It was 146,000.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. When you
I
said
thought you said 150.
when you said
I
dra-
was like George Washington kind of.
when you said dragon man skull, this is what I thought. This little tattoo someone did,
Yeah.
or this.
That'd be
like
crazy.
mythological creature.
Yeah.
It is very long, but then again, I wouldn't
How is it that well preserved after?
just sit in the bottom of a well. I don't
Yeah.
know.
This
How
fresh
was
water.
it that well preserved in the bottom of a well?
Well, it was previously under a bridge
Yeah.
for forever.
This is very bizarre.
So
I don't know
Well,
how
I
to
mean,
feel about that.
it doesn't surprise me. There are paleontologists every day find dinosaur bones that are well preserved
oh yeah.
Oh, that's
in
true.
in different
Forgot about those things.
in different environments and different what is it called in different arrangements and environments. So I'm not shocked that it's this well preserved, but I just find the name funny. The Dragon
Yeah.
Man skull.
I'd be so upset if someone was manhandling
Yeah.
my skull almost 150,000 years
Well,
later.
how dare.
Yeah, he probably doesn't care at this point, but
Well, it's funny looking at it too, what the standard of apparently, being intact is and well preserved. It
Yeah.
does look pretty whack. It's missing the
Like
jaw.
yeah.
It's missing some other things. I feel like that would.
But for
keep
half
it well
for half a
preserved.
skull, it doesn't look bad.
No, yeah. It's
So.
very interesting, especially the length.
Length.
That length. Look at
Pretty
it.
pretty wide noggin.
It's a wide boy.
Ugh.
But yeah, that was my skull topic.
That's
I
pretty good.
enjoy it. I kind of I enjoy it. I think it's funny that we find more stuff of prehistoric humans. You don't find that you rarely find that nowadays. But I just can't get over the name, the dragon skull.
I feel like the most recent one was the Kenway Man or something like that, where everyone was freaking out about that. Some Native Americans were like, "Give us back Kenway Man."
I don't remember that.
Man, it was They we had it was a body, a full body or something. I think it was called the Kenway Man or something like that. That we just had somewhere. Kenny Man.
I searched Kenway Man and it came up Edward Kenway, Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Wikipedia.
that as you can clearly see, this is what I
that's funny. I'm
I
trying to
got.
think
So.
what it was. It's some sort of like something
So-
man.
Just Google man.
Man body from from
Man
me.
body, man corpse. Do not Google that.
As our former president would say,
You are fake news.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, you found it?
Kenwick.
Kenwick.
that
Kennewick.
makes much
that's,
more sense.
That's pretty good though. That's like
Kennewick,
you were
man.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Here we are. Let's see what we got.
There he is. There's the
Oh.
goober.
Oh wow.
It's so interesting to me that they predict what these people looked like. It's like they
Yeah.
make it personal.
Make it personal.
yeah.
He's a pretty good looking Native American.
They do
dude.
the actual mock-up and they're like, oh, he's ugly. We gotta
We gotta make
fix
him
it
look better.
for social media.
I love how like on the far right there's just a model of Patrick Stewart.
I don't think it's Patrick Stewart.
It looks like it from the
It
side.
does look like Patrick Stewart.
You can't sit here and tell me that doesn't look like Patrick
Guys,
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart is the Kennewick man.
It does. is the thing.
That model is amazing.
The only movie I remember him from is X-Men.
He doesn't age.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, he doesn't.
Is he not
was
an X-Men?
Was he an X-Men?
Yeah, he's an X-Men.
Isn't he Professor X?
Yes, he's
Oh
an
yeah,
X-Men.
he is. I'm so silly, guys.
He's an X-Men, and
Isn't
he's
he
in,
like the main guy?
He's not the man. The Kennewick man.
the dude in the wheelchair? Come on, he's that guy. He plays that. He also plays
He's also Captain Picard.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. It was a Star Trek reference that I couldn't remember. So.
Oh,
I think he's the star from those Uber Eats commercials.
the Grubhub.
Yeah.
Silly.
So
All right. Well, I do want to hear about your Dutch Bros adventure you had yesterday because I was talking
Okay.
about how I love Dutch Bros. They're amazing. They got some pretty cool drinks. They just opened their first location off of 19th here in Lubbock, and
I
they're
feel
gonna
like
open
there
another
was
one.
no announcement about it though. Like an ad just came up on my Instagram, and like there's a lot of fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news on Instagram.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And so I was.
You are fake news.
There you go. There you go. So I didn't think it was real at first, but I thought it was just like a California thing. Sorry, I'm having little pieces of hair go crazy. Anyways.
Would
so
you like a hair tie?
No, I'm good. So you had told me that Dutch Bros is a very interesting experience. Their employees are, I guess, instructed to adapt a certain attitude towards customers, and I was like, I got to get a taste of what that is. So I went right after work yesterday. I got a Kokomo Freeze, which is basically just like a mocha and coconut coffee slushy. That makes it sound really gross, but it was really good. Definitely would get again 10 out of 10. Anyways, I just kind of feel like my experience as a whole was uncomfortable because I didn't know what to expect. It felt very flirty, even though I know it's not like intentional, like they're instructed to do that. But it was just like, "Hey, gorgeous, like, what are you ordering today?" And I was just like, "Oh."
So what he said?
Well, yeah, it was interesting. And then I was telling Jared about it earlier today. When he held out the card reader, he put his like finger over the slot where my card's supposed to go, and I am just so uncomfortable, and I like didn't say anything, so I'm just kind of like shoving my little debit card under his finger into the slot, and the slot is so skinny, so it's just kind of
Yeah,
like jabbing
it's hard.
it in there.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
that's a big fail right there.
Yeah, so it was uncomfortable, but it's not the employee's fault. Part of that is on me too, because it's my first time going. I didn't know what to expect, but I also, he asked me if I wanted to tip, and so I was like, sure. And so I went to go touch the iPad, and I got a little scolded for touching the iPad.
He gave her attitude, is what he did.
Yeah, he said, oh,
Don't touch it.
oh, you can't do that. It's COVID. And I was like, ha 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 ha. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Perry, here's an idea for the next time someone says that. You look them dead in the eye and go, "COVID's over. Find a new cause."
Yeah.
I've used that many a times, and it has worked. Try it,
Well,
folks.
they do it weird where
They
they
do?
They turn the iPad towards you to show you the
Yeah.
options, and then
You
so-
can't reach and point like,
Yeah,
ooh,
you're
touchy, touch.
instinctually you're like, ooh, I want to.
And I don't mind tipping because I feel like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it makes me so uncomfortable when they essentially ask you to tip. Because it's like, oh, it's expected of me now. Well, what's a good amount? Like, if I tip the least amount, is that going to, like, be embarrassing. I know like no tip at all is like worse than I guess like a $1 tip, but it still just makes me so nervous.
Just click custom and do 50 cents.
Yeah, 1 cent. A custom kiss on the lips. Yeah, I don't know how to handle situations like that, but the drink was really good. I would go again.
Yeah, they're if you haven't heard of Dutch Bros before, their kind of staff personality style is very like frat like almost, where they're like they're like a brotherhood, and they'll like
It's Dutch Bros, dude.
yeah, Dutch Bros. And they'll talk your ear off if you let them. Like when I was there last time, you expect them to like when you're at a drive-through, they'll you pay, then they'll close the window. They didn't close the window. She leans out and then starts talking to me.
Really?
Starts going
Like
off.
she's known you her whole, like you've known each other forever.
I
Like,
was
so
like, oh.
how you been, brother?
Exactly.
I just
Did
love
a
the
job.
idea of her crawling into your car.
Hey.
I'd be sitting there just going,
She changes the song on your radio.
What song you want? But they're
what
they're
you
very
listening
good.
to in there?
But that, when I went, they were outside like Chick-fil-A does.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's no avoiding it.
When I went last time, they have the blue cones separating the
Oh
two
yeah,
sides,
2 lines.
and there weren't enough people there for there to actually be 2 lines, and I took my turn too like wide, so I couldn't get in the first line. So here I am in the second line. I'm like, do I pull forward all the way, or do I get behind this next car? Like, am I cutting? So I just kind of turn. And now I'm between the first and the second lane behind this next car, and I'm like, it's fine. And the guy behind me also does the same thing.
Okay. There
So
you
I'm
go.
just sitting there, and then I'm taking my order, and the line finally pulls up. Well, people weren't pulling up. That was also really annoying. But another car pulls up in the first lane, and then they wave him through, and I just felt really awkward and bad that I was like clogging the line in a weird way.
See, that happened to me at Chick-fil-A because normally if you catch, like here in Lubbock, if you catch Chick-fil-A or the Chick-fil-A over on University and Marshall Sharp, if you catch them at a certain time, you'll be able to get into the drive-through line pretty easily. Or like you'll see one line is completely full and then the other one's just like almost empty, and I'm like, do I go? Do I not go? Like what?
I do curbside at Chick-fil-A. Best thing to
Is
come
it
out of
good?
the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
curbside is fantastic. I
Yeah.
actually used curbside at Chick-fil-A this morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
You just order online, and then of course Chick-fil-A has like 6 items on their menu, and so you just pull into your spot and say I'm here, and they whip it together and bring it to you, and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
I feel like I
Now-
might try that after this.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, but I will say I have had problems with that where, like, and this is it's only been like when they're super busy, but like sometimes it's like I'll order I think an 8-piece nugget, fries, and a drink, and it takes them forever to get it out, and I'm like, shouldn't take that long. What's going on? Then I realize, oh wait, the line is around the corner and into the street, so it all depends on when you can get them, but yeah, curbside's definitely the way to go if you can.
You, Austin, and Silas tried Dutch Bros yet?
This is the first day I've heard of Dutch Bros. So,
Yeah, their marketing was just not it.
Yeah.
so to me, this just seems like a more flamboyant Starbucks, essentially, or a Starbucks for the
Yeah.
bros, as you would say,
It's like a weird cross. I feel like of Starbucks and Bahama Bucks. Like,
Yeah.
'cause, like Bahama Bucks has sodas and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cheap, I think, compared to other drink places. Their sizes are insane, in my opinion, but, like, they're very good. Like, it's worth...
I do have to admit though, one of my pet peeves about the location is it's just like on the opposite side of the road in that like weird little corner
Yeah.
behind the highway, and so you either have to like do a U-turn or go onto the frontage road and then like turn around. It's awkward. But
So you
yeah.
said it's on 19th, right?
Yeah, all the way down 19th,
past the loop. Dude.
So is it like right? Is it like right where that like McDonald's and like car washes?
Yes.
On the
And
left on the left side.
Fazoli's.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 That's really a bad spot. So.
They're opening up a second location off a slide, I believe.
Yeah. I've never been to Dutch Bros. I've had Dutch Bros. It's pretty good, but I've never actually gone through the drive-through experience. So
It's something. It's something.
I just can't imagine being an employee there and being instructed to act like that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. And she'd be like, hey. That's it. That's all I got. But it's definitely an experience. I recommend it for sure.
Be fun.
Yeah.
So
All right. I think it's time for our
juicy bit. It's time.
Yes.
celebrity update.
Yes.
I gotta
I'm
find a
actually-
sound effect for that.
Yeah,
but
we're
for,
going to need to make one.
for now, I'm gonna do this.
That works.
Not
That
bad,
works.
yeah.
That will work.
All right. I'm actually going to change the very first
Okay, yeah, you
person
can
I
you
have
can
on
mix
here
it up.
because I found this very relevant to our last podcast.
Yeah.
Before it was John
McAfee.
McAfee, the McAfee antivirus software person who died. Well, this headline. After 28 quirky years, Conan O'Brien is leaving the late night scene. He is retiring.
Got an applause sound effect?
Let me.
I don't
no,
want to get too close to the mic.
No, sadly, I sadly do not.
Dude, he's a freak.
I mean, I have the.
Sorry.
I mean, well, no, that
I
one.
love the little Coco thing he's got going on, but I think he's a freak. But
I didn't know he was doing it for 28 years.
He's
Yeah,
been
I
doing.
didn't
He
either.
has been doing it for a while because he was after Jay Leno. I think he started on ABC on like ABC's or an ABC or NBC, whichever one it was, and then he switched to
TBS.
to the TBS one. Yeah, he because I think at that time they got Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, one of the whichever one it is. There's so many late night shows. I don't know who does what. So
yeah, how can there be that many entertaining people? And I feel like they aren't even entertaining.
I mean, as far as late night shows goes for me, the only ones that I think are funny are not Jimmy Fallon, but Jay Leno, and who was the one before him?
I'm forgetting it as well. I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about. I can't get it in my head.
Perry said it wasn't her favorite, and I was in awe that she said that, and I can't remember who it is now. Come on, Perry, help me out here.
I don't know. There's a lot of late night TV show hosts
Yeah,
that I don't
there
like, so
are.
it really could have been any of them.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Kimmel. I'm trying to
Jimmy
think. David
Kimmel.
Letterman. Is that it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was David Letterman. Yeah. So
Yeah.
David Letterman and Jay Leno are my favorite
Oh, dude.
late night hosts.
James Corden, though, worst.
Is that the British
Worst.
guy?
Yes. Peter Rabbit.
Okay, yeah, he's
He's
not.
awesome.
I will say he's not the best host, but some of his games are probably the best that I've seen.
Carpool karaoke
Just driving a car. And
with BTS.
My
It's
favorite.
BTS.
Spill your guts or fill your guts is probably
Dynamite.
my favorite.
I love this.
So
The Edward Centeno.
I don't know that.
He has this TikTok where he goes, "It's BTS, it's BTS,"
Oh.
and then does a little heart with his fingers.
yeah,
Too funny.
We need
So-
to talk about him on one of the episodes.
Yeah, I'll do like a whole rundown of his history.
I do find it interesting. This NPR article that I'm, basing this off of is very opinionated, where it's saying, but in watching a 1.5-hour episodes leading up to tonight's finale, it seems there's something else going on underneath the smiles, nostalgia, and good times. So it's
Jeez, the drama.
And they call him where is it? A misfit. They called him a misfit in the late night scene, but he didn't technically fit.
who are we still talking about? Conan?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole TBS late night network is. I mean, I would agree with that statement because when you think of late night, you think of NBC, ABC, CBS, or what's the other one?
I don't know.
I'm coming to a blank now. Or like a late night sports show, like I think it's Late Night with Scott Van Pell or something. So like TBS doing a late night talk show, it's kind of on the other end of the spectrum, but I'm shocked he's been doing it for this long.
I know, Perry, you have a few other celebrity updates for us, and which one are you feeling the most that you want to talk about right now?
I don't know if Sexy Beast is considered a celebrity update,
That counts.
but I can do it. Okay.
Because I just got an ad for it, and
It's really interesting. So, Sexy Beast is a newly introduced Netflix original series. It was just recently announced. It was advertised on their Twitter as basically a crossover between Masked Singer and Love is Blind, another original Netflix series. Netflix describes the show as, quote, hoping to say goodbye to superficial dating. Real-life singles sport elaborate makeup and prosthetics to put true blind date chemistry to the test. These people to me look like Halloween Town characters. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I'll say whole entire life. It's pretty uncomfortable, to be honest. I feel like if I was definitely on that show, that's not something I'd be down for.
I get Fantastic Mr. Fox vibes from this first picture of this
Oh,
dude
yeah.
dressed up as a fox.
Netflix has reportedly signed on for 2 6-episode seasons of the show already. The first season is set to premiere July 21st. The trailer is already out, so you're welcome to go and watch that. And the second season is supposed to be dropping supposedly later this year. According to CNN Entertainment, the series is a single person with 3 potential matches. all in elaborate SFX makeup. They get to see what this person looks like without the makeup once they have chosen them out of the 3 potential matches in like a great
yeah.
reveal ceremony. Apparently, this is based on a different show on BBC Three that was really big in the United Kingdom. But I wasn't able to find the name of it. I was like, how?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My thoughts on this show?
Wrong.
I hate.
Look. I love the I guess the costume designs and the makeup, like that's good and all, but just
Yeah.
leave it to the movies and the TV shows. Don't make it into a live action dating scene.
They're definitely going for a shock factor here. I don't think anybody necessarily thought it was a good idea.
I don't think anybody thinks this is a
It's
good
like
idea.
Yeah.
Face Off.
I would be
mixed with
Yeah.
I
dating.
mean, somebody thought it was a good idea for it to be green-lighted, so...
Yeah.
That's true.
Either
For 2 seasons.
Either that or this was a bet somebody made on the board. Someone
Yeah.
said, "I bet you won't turn that into a show," and they're like, "I bet," and you owe me $1,000.
If they had released this like back in April, I 100% would have thought it was like an April Fool's joke. But
I still think it is, and it's just now getting released.
yeah.
I don't know about. There's too much work going
Am
into this.
I gonna watch it? Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course I am. Will it upset me? Yes.
I find it funny that U.S. television networks love taking wacky shows
From the UK.
from UK or Korea.
And then making it their own.
Yeah, with Masked Singer. That was
Oh, really?
that was
Yeah, that was a Japanese.
I
That's
always
a
thought that was a dumb
Japanese or Korean.
it is, but I think it was Korea or Japan, one of the two. But it works very well for them. I think it was Japan because they're already like quirky and
Yeah,
weird and
that's their
loud like
type
that,
beat.
so it fits their audience. But for us, it's like this is kind
It's
of
too
dumb.
cheesy.
Well,
Yeah.
do you know another show this one's actually is very popular in the U.S. that started out as a Japanese like Japanese Korean show,
Which one?
Wipeout.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when Wipeout was based off a show in I'm guessing Korea or Japan, but yeah, it was basically the same thing. It was like one person or a group of 2 run an obstacle course, and they timed the event, and then the winner gets a prize. The winner will get a prize if they complete the last or if they win the whole challenge. But and I'm telling you, folks, look this one up because like when you watch the show, the Japan show, it's worse. It's like the people get hurt on that
Yeah.
show compared to like Wipeout, the first season Wipeout, and then this reboot that they did. Now, I think the original Wipeout, the American version, is better than the reboot, but that's a whole nother topic for later. But it's funny. So, but yeah, that's the American culture. We see something over in a different country that works, and we think it'll work here. So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. But
Well,
yeah,
The
I'm
Office.
getting that off my screen, please.
I've heard that people say the American version of The Office is better than the UK one.
I think that just depends on where you're from. I think if
Yeah.
you're from America, you'll probably go with the American Office. If you're from British, you're gonna go with the UK version. 'cause-
Probably. It's like a cultural difference in humor, I guess.
Well, I think is his name. It's John. Now, help me if I'm wrong, but it's John Krasinski. I think is his name.
Yeah.
yeah.
Married to. I can't think of her name. now.
Emily Blunt.
Thank you.
Pam.
Yeah. So, well, when Emily Blunt was shooting, what was it, Mary Poppins, he would fly into London to visit, and then he said one day through customs, he said, "Let me see your passport." He said, "You're an actor?" He's like, "Yeah." "What would I know you from?" "I don't know. We did your American version of your British Office." And he said, "Oh, I like that show, the UK version." And then he's like, "Who's your wife?" I said, "Emily Blunt." He looked up. He went, "You." All right,
Handsome. That's not fair.
yeah, well, yeah, but you also got to remember the people in the British area don't necessarily like us. So
I don't think anybody likes Americans.
true.
Yeah, not right now.
Not ever.
So,
But for a while, people hated the British. Remember when they like conquered the whole globe?
remember when we spilt their tea
remember
in the
that?
ocean? Remember the Alamo?
Guys, remember that baller move?
So,
I really want to know what is going on with Drake Bell.
yeah, well, that's one I wanted to talk about, and then the one before him, Mini Lad, is what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah,
but
we're about to get into that.
We'll go
'cause I
with
wanna
Drake
know.
Bell
I
first
wanna know
because
Drake Bell real
this
quick.
one shocks me.
Well, I got the Drake Bell rundown for you. So he was arrested and charged in Cleveland earlier this month over an incident that happened in December of 2017. So it's been a couple years, but you know the legal system. That's how things kind of go. He pled guilty to charges of attempted endangerment of a child and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles in a plea deal. He originally pled not guilty, but then later took this plea deal. Each of these charges carries a sentence of at least 6 months if he were to go to jail, or a fine if he doesn't go to jail, or he could do both. If he does go to prison for these charges, he'll be put under post-release control following his time served. His sentencing hearing is set for July 12th of 2021, where a victim statement can be read if chosen to. According to a People article that I read, his lawyer, quote, "All questions about this case will be answered at the sentencing, including why Mr. Bell chose to enter his plea deal." So this incident was reported to involve a 15-year-old girl and was under a sexual context.
Well, yeah, I've got. I think Brian can kind of see it on the camera or the computer, but yeah, prosecutors said that Mr. Bell engaged in a conversation with a 15-year-old girl that was at times sexual in nature. An investigation by the Cleveland Police Department also revealed that Mr. Bell had sent the girl inappropriate social media messages in the months before the show. The prosecutors said. The judge told Mr. Bell that if he did serve time in prison, his activities could be restricted for up to 3 years after his release.
Which I think, I mean, I don't know all of the details, but I think that could be bad for him based on our previous conversation where he's very successful in Mexico in his music career. So I feel like the judge could potentially restrict his travel.
Which it makes a little bit too much sense of why, if he was trying to dodge these charges and he went to Mexico to make music and the audience there is better, which is very interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't really help his not looking guilty.
Yeah, it just makes it worse. And also I found out, I don't know how I never noticed this until yesterday when I was looking into this. His first name isn't Drake.
Jared.
It's Jared. His first name is Jared. His middle name is Drake.
Yeah.
Jared Drake. That's kind of tough that his parents did. Jared Drake. Jared Drake Bell.
Jared Drake Bell.
Yeah.
Look at that suit. What is that?
He's also kind of skeevy looking. Do you remember when he made a cameo on iCarly and he had this
Yeah.
I
like
don't
crazy
know.
haircut?
When did that happen?
He had this. Sorry, touch the mic, guys. He had this crazy haircut. It was like this like extreme Justin Bieber hair swoop thing, and he was just like breaking his neck on camera.
Trying to look like an edgelord.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't-
really did.
I didn't see that part. I must have missed that one. But
Is that technically his mugshot,
I don't know
or
what
if
this
it's
is.
just some picture of him?
That
what,
is
this one or
mugshot.
the one on the
No,
computer
there's-
screen or the one Ryan
The
has?
one Ryan has, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to find it. It's pretty popular.
Well, let me go back.
It
Hold on.
has like a
Let me go back to the images real
You just
quick.
need to look up Jared Drake Bell and then go to images.
maybe look up mugshot and see if it'll
Jared.
come up.
Drake Bell. See,
I feel a sneeze coming on. I
It's
don't know
like,
if
he's
it'll happen.
like,
He looks yeah,
The
yeah,
first
yeah, it's
one.
the first one. He looks so slimy. But the thing is, like, it looks like some fan like took that picture.
it's the one below it. Please.
Has he been arrested before?
Probably.
don't know actually. That made
Clark
me...
Kent mugshot.
That's a TMZ article.
We love TMZ.
my-
Is so good.
Now this
It's
looks
so
like a mugshot right here.
TMZ always reminds me of Roborazzi from Victorious. Like
Oh
that's
my-
what I imagine TMZ is like on the inside.
What, you just have a man with a ventriloquist puppet doll? Just.
Yeah, Rex.
Oh my god, that is
Drake Bell is
amazing.
something now.
I don't know. I do not like Josh Peck.
You don't like him?
No, not at all.
Why?
He just has bad energy
got
around
bad
him.
juju.
Yeah, and he was friends with David Dobrik for a while too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
I think Miranda Cosgrove's okay though. I trust her.
Now, I was gonna say, was the Josh Peck thing? You don't like him because of who he's hanging out with, or just because of the fact that he's changed?
Just his personality, because like in the David Dobrik vlogs, he would just try so hard to be funny, and I was like, ugh, yikes.
I don't.
I don't know. And I hate when people call themselves comedians. It's like you can be funny, but if you're like, I'm a comedian, I'm like, yikes.
Okay. Well, now what's going to be my favorite part of this show is the whole mini lad thing that's going on currently.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you want to take the lead on this one, or would you like me to?
I'm as much in the dark probably here as Perry with the mini lad update. I just
Okay.
know from his first apology video that was very, very
It was not an apology video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was him
So
being like
Is
him
that
using
So
mental
so
illness
this is
as
cra-
a
this is so
front.
this is so. For those of you watching, let me give you the rundown here. Minilag, aka Craig Thompson, is a YouTuber since 2011, I believe. Started his YouTube channel 2011, grew to about his main channel grew to about 5 million. The most it got was 5.5 million subscribers. His second channel is over 1 million. Was known as as the young one in the Vanoss crew, which consisted of YouTubers known as Vanoss Gaming, H2 Delirious, The Gaming Terrorizer, Dahi Denogla, Basically I Do Work, I Am Wildcat, and Big Jiggly Panda, as well as a few others. Now, this whole downward spiral, I will say, started back in 2018. He had a fight with he had a feud with his buddy Terrorizer over, or like you said. Or he received a $20 tip from a viewer who praised his content but wondered how come he didn't play with the YouTubers like Vanoss Gaming. He responded, because I don't like playing Gmod anymore. So his friends were playing the same old games they'd been playing for 5 years. He wanted to do something. He kind of wanted to do his own thing and didn't want to be known as the guy playing with Vanoss, which I get that, but I think this kind of is what started it. So let me find out. So him and Brian Hanby, aka the Gaming Terrorizer, had a feud, I believe, in 2000. Or help me out. Was it 2018 or 19, Silas? If you can remember.
I don't remember when it was. I remember what it was about though.
Okay, I know it was about. It had something to do with his mental health and like him and about his accident in 2017, which involved him being hit by a Toyota Tacoma.
so sorry.
Yeah, he got hit by a car. And then
Yeah, LOL guys.
Yeah, no, he got hit by a car, and then after.
You know what they call that? Karma.
No. So later, so on August 20, I'm trying to think when this actually started. Yeah, mental health struggles in 2019. Anyway, he recently, some allegations came up with him about him sexting minors. So, in 2019, this went on for 2020. He started posting little content. And then I don't know if I'll be able to find the actual video itself, but his apology video was 5 months ago, or if you want to call it that.
it was like in like the fall of 2020.
Okay, so the fall of 2020, he released a quote unquote apology video about the entire ordeal and what happened, and he kind of blames it on his mental health, which. Depending on who you are, you can say that's not an excuse, or you can say that is an excuse. I'm not gonna judge you for that. And then nobody's heard him for 5 months.
Dream.
However, in 2 days ago, he posted a video on his second channel where he spent 24 hours on a cliffside. I watched the video.
That's his comeback.
Well, that it's one of those where I don't know what he's trying. I don't know what his end game here is. He's been silent for 5 months. His Twitter and his Twitter account has been almost deleted or blacklisted. Like there's not any post on it. The same and like he has no channel links from his main channel to his secondary channel or to his Craig Thompson channel.
Did you say he did a 24-hour live stream?
No, not a live stream. It was a video saying he spent 24 hours on top of on a cliffside.
I might die. Clickbait.
No, here, give me a second. I'll pull up.
Sounds
the video.
questionable. And
Well, that's just I can't imagine his because all these people have to have like marketing teams to some extent,
Yeah.
and they're like, this will be a really good video.
All right, so here's
Oh.
the video. It's I survived 24 hours on the edge of a cliff. So
This does not have that many views.
no, compared to most of his viewers, like down here, no, this does not. But considering the allegations that were made and what all happened with his with him in 2020, I'm shocked that it got this many views. But here I'm gonna go here.
I'm about to spend
Nope, I'm gonna mute that. I don't want to hear that. So so overall, this video has been very positive coming back from his fans. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like, at the end of this video, there's like previews and clips of videos to come. So I don't know essentially if he's gonna if he's trying to make a comeback or if he's or what his end goal is. But
Look at the like to dislike ratio.
Yeah.
He's very close.
It's 15,000 upvotes and 12,000 downvotes.
Well, so
Well, I feel like
I'm surprised he didn't hide that.
Yeah,
can you on YouTube?
Yeah,
So
'cause-
here's the apology video,
it's very, very.
and I'm
it's-
going to.
It's not good at all.
We're not going to listen to this.
Yeah, no, it's not good at
But I
all.
mean, you see, I mean, the viewers can't see, but this has 226,000 dislikes. So not a lot of people were fans. So he made this video in December of 2018. So right near the end of 2020. December 28th, 2020 is when he made this video. So obviously not a lot of people didn't like the video. And I think a lot of people don't side with him. I think, yeah, you see,
Well, I feel like
read a lot of the comments, things are going about what.
The main reason why people are mad about this video is he used mental illness and being in a bad place to try and justify his actions for what he did, and which is obviously not how you do that.
Right.
But to an extent, I feel like if he, I don't, and this falls into the whole.
This is kind of similar to the James Charles.
Yeah.
Situation.
With James Charles,
Yeah.
the who's the other person that recently
I don't know.
Call Me Carson,
Oh, was it say Tony Lopez?
Yeah, I forgot. Call Me
Tony
Carson.
Lopez.
But-
They're all doing this.
Yeah. But there is no true excuse. The fact, like James Charles was like, well, basically, I'm desperate. It's like desperate for a 16-year-old. Like that's a child.
Yeah. I don't know. The one with Mini Lad is it's hard. I don't know how I feel about it. Like on one hand, I'm happy to see that he's okay, and he's doing something. But on the other hand, I'm like you like it kind of pissed me off. Like you really think you can come back after what happened, and act like nothing happened? And it's like,
Well, that's proven to be successful. Logan Paul essentially did that, though.
yes, but I mean, Logan Paul. The way Logan Paul did it is he basically said, "Hey, I'm going to fight KSI, who was the biggest like internet celebrity in London," and so people were like, "Yeah, let's watch him get his butt kicked in a boxing match." So that's why. The way Logan Paul did it, I actually think it was a heck of a job by his marketing team.
Oh yeah.
To do that, because his thing was, I think, worse than what Minilad or probably not worse, but just as bad as what Minilad and James Charles and Call Me Carson have done. But his marketing team did a far better job of kind of washing it under the bridge, so to speak.
And I feel like it's okay for them to come back if the problem is resolved
Yeah.
behind closed doors.
They've learned from it.
Exactly. Like if
Learn something from this.
And that's the other thing with this is I'm like, has he learned from this? Because if you watch number one, just by watching the video, he looks like he's in much better shape than he was 5 months ago. Like he looks skinnier, healthier, more fit. He looks healthier. My question is, in that 5 months behind closed doors, has he resolved the issue and has he settled everything?
And
That's my worry.
it's sad but probably true, with most of the times it's usually some sort of payout where they'll just either give them hush money
Yeah.
or something like
well,
that.
and he's probably like 5 months is enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
yeah, it's
I mean, the same. How long did James Charles take before he came back?
He hasn't really like truly made a comeback yet, as far as I understand.
And like I said, I think Minilad's in the same way. He truly hasn't made a comeback, but I think he's starting to. So
The thing I don't understand is like this is a tale as old as time. It's not like new with the age of the internet. It's just more publicized with the age of the internet.
because technology has gotten better and people are now aware of texting or sexting and all that. So.
But to me, it's just so blatantly obvious that they are taking advantage of their fans. To me, there is no reason you should entertain somebody under the age of legal consent if you were older than that. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't even understand why you would be attracted to somebody that young. And it's very obvious that they aren't mentally
Sorry.
It's very obvious to me that they aren't mentally fully developed, and they are taking advantage of that, which I think can, in some cases, can be considered grooming if it gets to that extent.
Oh, definitely, especially when with the younger generation, they're looking up to these YouTubers. Like these
Yeah.
are their celebrities.
Well,
the
and
fact
that's
they're doing
that's
this
the other thing that I'm thinking that's why I'm thinking that this video of this video of him coming back. I say coming back, but it's his first post in 5 months. So him coming back is somewhat mixed because on one side, on like the 12,000, like on the dislike side, it's everyone who grew up with him in the beginning and is like, whoa, I don't accept this, I can't support this, and like knows what he did. Whereas on the other side, it's probably his younger audience who don't necessarily know or understand why he left or what happened. So, which I know is not it's not a good like representation or a good explanation, but that's the only way I know how to explain it.
I think, was it Silas, you were telling me that one of the like victims in this case was like a moderator of, was it a Discord or?
It was either Discord or Twitch. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
But and then there's also the fact that it came out that he was very I don't know if it was abusive or if he just mistreated his girlfriend at the time, but like both of those things were going on at the same time, and I don't think he's even acknowledged his ex-girlfriend thing, which is ridiculous.
Well, I don't think his ex-girlfriend, who was a Twitch streamer Sunny Day, she hasn't come out with any of that stuff, has she? Or
I'm pretty sure in Twitter she did. Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'll look at it later.
They, in situations like this with his girlfriend, that doesn't really need to be publicized because that's like a personal matter. It's like the fans do not deserve to be like, what's happening with his relationship? It's some of the stuff needs to be.
Yeah, I think I agree because it's more like a legal issue when it's a child. Because people want to say that teenagers like are well aware of what they're doing or whatever, and I probably thought that when I was 16, but you aren't.
That's what I think. The one thing with Call Me Carson is that he's doing well is the fact that he's not like he's been gone off of everything. Like, he doesn't need to be back. He doesn't have to respond to fans. He's dealing with this issue the way he needs to. So it's not. No one deserves to hear anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if you like after, I think he's banned from Twitter and Twitch according to this. So like Minilad's Twitch account was permanently banned on the same day as this interview, which was on February 23rd earlier this year, or actually February 22nd. My mistake. So I don't think he's gonna return to Twitch. I don't think he's gonna do anything on Twitter. So I think YouTube is his only way of coming back.
Well,
unless they ban him.
Seems like it's his only form of income as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I mean, nobody really knows anything. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know anything outside his life at YouTube, so.
Well, I'm sure he's already makes a pretty good income before all of this happened, but that's the crazy thing about being an influencer to me is that it's volatile month to month.
Yeah, so.
I do want to now know about Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
I'm so curious. I need to know the deets. Like, what's going on?
Okay, full disclosure, this happened in 2018, but I just found out about it, and I think it is very, very bizarre.
Is this about her living in Dubai for the past 6 years, and stating she hadn't been to LA in 10 years or something like that?
I haven't heard that, but I'm not surprised that she said that.
Well, because I was curious about this, and the first thing I got was what happened to Lindsay Lohan. She says, during an April 2020 interview on Lights Out with David Spade, the actress revealed that she has been living in Dubai for 6 years, except for the occasional trip to New York. She hasn't spent much time in the U.S. and stated, I haven't been to L.A. in over 10 years.
This specific story is a little bit different.
Okay.
It was in Moscow. I guess she was there visiting, and she was on Instagram Live. So she started a stream stating, hey everyone, I just want to show you a family that I met, a Syrian refugee family, and I'm really worried about them. Her apparent intent was to help the family, asking for their story, but quickly had a change of attitude, starting to claim that the children were being trafficked. She stated, quote, I won't leave until I take you, to the children. She then begins to speak in an unintelligible language, which many believe were just a mix of multiple language and gibberish, essentially. To me, this sounds like she was on drugs. She also states to the mother of these children, quote, you should not have them on the floor. You should be a hardworking woman, and you should do what you can for your children so they have a better life. Another quote I found interesting was, quote, I won't leave until I take you, and now I know who you are. Don't bleep with me. I have encountered 2 different reports of what followed after these statements were made to this mother. One account says that the mother shoved Lindsay Lohan, and the other one says that the mother punched Lindsay Lohan in the face. And after this altercation, the Instagram live stream ended. I was like, how did this happen in 2018? And I had no idea.
why do these stars think they have so much like power and
To me, the whole speaking in a different language thing, like she was not in the right mind.
that's crazy.
And it's hard to tell whether this actually was a Syrian refugee family or if she just claimed that they were. But either way, you have no right to tell a mother that they aren't doing the best thing for their children.
Especially in a different country with
Yeah.
under circumstances she doesn't know.
Yeah, and she kept claiming that she wanted to take the children to a hotel and like rescue them. And the mom's like, leave us alone.
Well, I find it funny, like, as I'm reading this. Now, this is from the Washington Post. It says, Lohan then began speaking in English in a strange accent, saying, I won't leave until I take you, and hey, kids. She then switches to an unintelligible language that some have reported to be Arabic, but does not appear to be. This
Well-
is Arab, not Arab. Lohan says you are ruining Arabic culture.
Well, I know the last part when she says, like, you're ruining Arabic culture, she was saying that to the mother because she was saying, like, oh, since you weren't helping the kids, you're ruining the culture. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And I cannot believe that, like, I had never heard of this.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Like 2018.
Yeah.
How
But it was like a 10-minute live stream. She's like, hey, guys. And then it just ended as soon as she gets, like, punched by the mom.
I'm gonna find this video after the
Oh,
show.
I love that it was live streamed. I love that.
like you're expecting it to be like in the U.S. or like in a hotel, and she's like on a street.
Yes.
in some random
You're like,
place.
Lindsay, what is going on?
Shaky video.
Like, can you imagine tuning in for that and she just like starts to take these kids and like, I'm gonna take you. Like, what?
Yeah, she had to have been on
I feel
something.
like once again I would have thought that was a prank, and then
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
it just isn't. I don't know.
Why is she in Moscow to begin with?
I don't know. Probably some
Really
party.
do not know.
We throw a party
It's
with
so
Lindsay
hard.
Lohan.
See,
no?
people I feel like always criticize Miley Cyrus because they're like, oh, this Disney Channel star I like that grew up and like went crazy. I'm like, are you looking at Lindsay Lohan? Like, there are other childhood entertainment stars that have grown up to like be off the rocker.
Yeah.
But comparatively, it's very tame. It seems.
Yeah, like Miley, I think is very well aware of like the shock factor in
Yeah.
the media, and Lindsay's literally just like cracked out.
Just trying to steal
Meanwhile,
children.
meanwhile, the heads of these celebrities are just going, "Oh, come on, work for me." Just
Yeah,
laughing as they make money from them.
pretty much.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. No. Why?
we got a lot happening this year, and a lot of stuff is starting to come out for these celebrities. And
Yeah.
I'm curious about this whole debacle with Mr. John McAfee.
So he evaded tax evasion a little bit ago.
Uh-huh.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do.
know.
Wait,
That's-
isn't it like, what is illegal? Because I've heard that like not paying your taxes isn't illegal, but
He.
okay, sorry.
No, you're good. My brain just stopped now, because tax evasion.
So he was evading his taxes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google
Okay,
it.
okay. So yeah, so he was evading taxes, and I think he fled to
Spain.
yes, Barcelona, and
Or hold on, let me look at legal issues. So, April 30th, 2020, McAfee's property in Orange Walk Town, Belize, was raided by the Gang Suppression Unit of the Belize Police Department for unlicensed drug manufacturing and possession of an unlicensed weapon. On August 2nd, 2015, McAfee was arrested in Henderson County, Tennessee, on one count of driving under the influence. In July of 2019, McAfee and members of his entourage were arrested while his yacht was docked in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, on suspicion of carrying high-caliber weapons and ammo.
he's a gun runner.
Yeah. And then,
He's a
okay,
runner,
I think
he's a
this is
track
what
star.
this may be what we're looking. No.
Okay, so tax avoidance is illegal, tax evasion is illegal. And so that was sorry.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Okay.
read the one that happened on August 11th, but I find that one's funny. Where's the one of him?
But basically, overall, like the weird part.
Oh, here it is.
He was found dead in his jail cell
So
in Barcelona, and some people are already making conspiracy theories that foul play was involved, or CIA or whatever. Who knows? But all the people that are looking at his body say it was a suicide. I think it's kind of weird.
That does sound weird.
Yeah, like
It's too convenient.
yeah. Yeah, very, especially with the money he has, if he has any left, actually. But yeah, it seems convenient.
Well, so on the 5th of October of this past year, 2020, McAfee was arrested in Spain at the request of the United States Department of Justice for tax evasion. The June indictment, which was released upon his arrest, alleged he earned millions of dollars from 2014 to 2018 and failed to file income tax returns. On October 6th, the U.S. SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, filed a complaint further alleging McAfee and his bodyguard promoted certain initial coin offerings, or ICOs, in a fraudulent, corrupt pump and dump. It claims he presented himself as an impartial investor when he promoted the ICOs, despite allegedly getting paid $23 million in digital assets in return. On March 5th, 2021, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York formally indicted him and an executive advisor on these charges. He was jailed in Spain pending extradition to the U.S. and then on June 23rd, 2021, the Audiencia Nacional authorities authorized his extradition to face charges in Tennessee. He died a few hours later. The New York extradition case was still pending in a lower Spanish court.
Either way, obviously, I only know about his internet security
antivirus
software, but that definitely, to me, I think I'm a skeptical person anyway, and that's definitely shady. All of it. I mean, any businessman is shady, but especially his death is shady.
Yeah, being, in Spain and whatnot. I do want to wrap it up with one last segment. I want to know about the Zodiac cipher update.
Who knew there was beef in the Zodiac code cracking community? So we kind of mentioned this yesterday on, SSSE. So I'll
the
keep
Super Summer Show Especial.
Close.
Or Spectacular
Yes.
Especial. There we go.
Anyways.
Sorry, DG.
So I'm going to butcher these names because they are... I know the first guy is French, and I'm so sorry about that. Geez. Faikal Zeroui, a 38-year-old French-Moroccan businessman, claims to have solved 2 cipher letters left behind by the Zodiac Killer, and they're the 2 final unsolved cipher letters, known as Z13 and Z32. So if you're unfamiliar with the Zodiac Killer, he was a serial killer active in the Bay Area between the late 60s and early 70s. He is confirmed to have killed 5 people and injured 2, but is suspected in at least 20 to 28 more murders, which he claims himself. So who knows? They do that. He was infamous not only for his murders, but for being behind these bizarre letters and codes that he sent to media outlets and the police. Most of these codes have varied from other codes requiring multiple ciphers to be determined because people kept cracking them, so he just kept making them wackier and wackier to make them harder to solve. So these letters are supposedly incredibly hard to decipher. However, this 38-year-old French-Moroccan man, Zeroui, claims to have solved the last 2 ciphers in just 2 weeks, which were unsolvable by law enforcement, experts, and the public for over 50 years. One of these ciphers supposedly has the identity of the Zodiac Killer, stating, "My name is," and then they could never crack what the name was supposed to say. He said that he figured these out using an encryption key that came out in December of 2020 and, quote, creative code cracking techniques. He posted on his findings on many Zodiac Killer online forums about his discovery, but was met with a lot of flack. One moderator of the forum even just straight up deleted his post. Many claim that the cipher is too short to be solvable. But it turns out that this guy that he cracked the name of was already a suspect. But, we'll never know at this point. If it was that guy, he died in prison in 2010, so who's to say? A 340-character cipher was cracked in December of 2020, and this was a code cipher that Zeroui had used. The leader in this task force in December was David Orenchak, and he said that hundreds of proposals for Z13 and Z32 solutions already exist, but at this point it is practically impossible to determine if any of them are correct.
Wasn't the community, really...
Oh, they were mad.
Yeah.
But I read, and I kind of agree with this, that mostly they were mad because they don't want it to be over. They want to keep, solving the puzzles and having fun. And they, all of them were just it's too short to be figured out. We'll never figure it out. We'll never know. And I was like, okay.
It's funny how it seems like an outsider's coming in and be like, hey, I discovered, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, maybe he did. like I saw one, it was like a cryptologist, if that's how you say it, agreed that like his findings are pretty sound, like the way he figured it out and everything. But I also kind of agree with David Orenchuk, who said that there is just so many probable solutions already out there. So hard to say. I think people kind of like the mystery. I'm sure the Zodiac Killer himself loves the mystery.
Do we know what do these ciphers look like? Are they like?
Oh, they're crazy. Like they're just symbols.
It's just wacky
Yeah,
symbols.
they're like, and it's kind of crazy that people have figured them out and that they actually even mean something. Because, yeah, those are the
geez.
letters right there. That's his symbol, and then those what the letters look like.
I think it'd be hilarious if there's
Who got that
actually
tattooed?
no meaning
Oh, I'm
to these.
because to me, somebody who would like harm another human being isn't mentally stable anyway. So they probably just take out a sheet of paper and are just like crazy symbols. Especially, honestly, it would be not that this isn't gonna come across right, but it would be like a really like baller last move of him to have all of these ciphers actually mean something, and then say
Yeah.
my name is and have it be unsolvable.
And then there's a link
Just
to
nonsense.
the Eminem song. My name is what?
What?
The real
So-
Slim Shady. That it's. Do
That-
you think
that-
we'll ever find out what it says?
I think they've-
officially.
I think we will in the next 10 or 15 years when everything is released, but or the community is like finally admits that okay, we know who it is. He's already dead.
Well,
We're
I
dead.
mean, there
But-
are several suspects on the list, and people are like, well, I'm pretty sure it's this guy, but there's no way to really figure it out from then. So I kind of feel like no, because they can't really do anything, And if I was listening to a true crime podcast this morning, and it was like, even if they do think it's a certain person in a particular case, they don't want to like slander that family's name and blame it on this
yeah.
person if there is no true evidence.
And how long ago were these again?
Now
1969 to the early 70s. I wasn't, because one source said 68 to 69 and one said 69 to 70. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's.
but it's bizarre. It's just bizarre. Truly.
we're late 1960s to the early 1970s
Yeah.
in
So
the
that's
San
what-
Francisco Bay Area.
How'd you
Yeah.
even get that sketch?
Because he didn't kill there was, okay, it's been a while since I've gone over, like, listened to this story, but not all his victims died. Like, there was one, I'm pretty sure, he, like, kidnapped, and she got away, and it was, like, he was mad.
5
Like, big
confirmed
deal.
dead, 2 injured,
Injured, yeah.
possible 20 to 28 total dead, claimed to have killed 37.
Yeah, so, not a good guy, and people, like, did report seeing him, but they never caught him.
Well, the Zodiac Killer.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is going to wrap it up for today's episode of Pod Dammit. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned next week for another new episode, and we have more great shows next week as well. I've been your host, DJ Scoot. As always, I'm joined by...
Perry.
DJ Wolf here.
And Silas.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Stay tuned for Austin and Silas' show.
Oh, yeah. Stay
You
tuned
got
for
it.
that.
Rock and roll
right
sports
here
show.
on the Raider 88.1.